Hello and welcome to episode 22 of Teach Me How. Today I'll be teaching you how to defeat Malicos on Jedi Grandmaster without taking damage. This guide is not meant to teach the fastest or the best way to defeat Malicos, but more an explanation of how and what I did to defeat him during my 100% Jedi Grandmaster no damage challenge run. As with all of my boss guides, I'll start by explaining the abilities you'll face, then cover the fight strategy itself, and finally a full fight example without commentary. Now with that said, let's get into it. Since I approach this fight defensively and engage on parry breaks only, I'll be explaining his abilities from that point of view. This means I won't be showing the full attack, but only the start of the attack until I successfully parry it. Additionally, there are two phases to this fight. Let's break it up and cover phase 1 abilities, and then I'll cover phase 2. There are 6 total attack variations in phase 1. The first I call cross attack. Malicos will extend his sabers far out and bring them in across your body. You'll want to parry this just as the sabers are closing in towards your waist. Next is shoulder left. Malicos will pull both sabers back over his left shoulder and bring them down diagonally. Parry this attack as the first of the 2 sabers begins to move down towards you. Shoulder right is next. It's identical to shoulder left except both sabers will be over the opposite shoulder. You'll want to parry just as the first saber begins to move towards you, same as the last one. Now note that the timing on shoulder left versus shoulder right is different. Up next is wide attack. Malicos will extend both sabers out similar to the cross attack. He'll then raise and lower his left saber to attack you. Parry this as the saber makes its way down to your waist. The last standard attack is flip. Malicos will again extend his sabers wide and will then leap into the air for an unblockable flip attack. To avoid taking damage, dodge roll 45 degrees left or right through Malicos. Note that on very rare occasion in phase 1, Malicos will follow up with a stab attack. You'll want to parry this as soon as his saber starts to stab out towards you. The remaining 2 attacks are ranged attacks. First is saber throw. This throw is only seen in phase 1 and starts with Malicos jumping away from you and throwing his right saber towards the left side of the screen. He'll then charge in for a saber strike. Parry this as his saber approaches your left shoulder. You'll then want to hold guard to avoid damage from the saber in the air. Last up is rock throw. Again, this rock throw is only seen in phase 1. Similar to saber throw, Malicos will leap away from you and using his right hand will pull a rock from the ground and throw it at you. Dodge roll the rock as soon as it starts its forward movement towards you. Let's move on to phase 2 abilities now. The 4 standard abilities, cross, shoulder left, shoulder right, and flip, all still exist in phase 2 and will be used against you in the same manner and in the same frequency. Malicos, however, will almost always stab out of his flip in phase 2, so keep that in mind. Saber throw gets an upgrade in phase 2 in that Malicos will still leap away from you, but will now throw both sabers at you and then leap into the air for an unblockable attack. Hold guard blocking both sabers and then dodge roll the unblockable just before he lands the hit. Similar to saber throw, rock throw gets an upgrade as well. Malicos will lift up 3 rocks and throw them at you one at a time, beginning with the left, then the right, and then the center. Finally, he'll launch all 3 rocks at you. There are 2 methods to avoid taking damage from this. My preferred method is to force push the rock back at him. This will do damage and cancel the entire sequence. To pull this off successfully, you'll want to force push just as his left arm swings forward. If you find yourself without force, however, you'll need to dodge the rocks. To do this, you'll want to be moving right as Malicos brings out the rocks, and then as the first rock starts moving toward you, short dodge left, and then right, and then left. Finally, dodge roll the 3 rocks. This is obviously much more dangerous, but a good alternative if needed. Alright, knowing his abilities, let me now explain the strategy for the fight. As you exit the cutscene, target Malicos and move back and away from him in a circular motion. This will guarantee that he starts with a cross attack. The next 2 attacks will be randomly selected from shoulder left, shoulder right, or flip. Deal with them as I discussed earlier. It takes 3 parries to break his guard. Once his guard is broke, you'll dash strike in, and then normal attack twice. Ensure you keep your distance to guarantee he always starts with a cross attack. Rinse and repeat this sequence 3 times. After Malicos recovers from the 3rd guard break, he'll jump back and he'll saber throw. You'll then want to break his guard again and do damage.
Strike me down. Only cowards run. Lucky hit.
As Malicos recovers, he'll use Rock Throw. Since Phase 2 ends at 50%, break his guard and do a single normal attack to enter the cutscene. As you begin Phase 2, Malicos will leap back and saber throw. On the very next parry, you'll enter into a QuickTime event. Once the QuickTime event is done, you'll attack him until his guard breaks. Once his guard breaks, attack him once, then swap to double saber and execute a split saber attack. Immediately after he recovers, he'll utilize Rock Throw. Get distance from him and prepare to force push. Once the rock hits him, move in quickly, break his guard, and attack. You now need to break his guard one more time. Once broken, continue attacking him until he's defeated. Fighting Malicos in this way takes time, simply because you need to learn the parry timing required against his attacks. Stay tuned for the unnarrated fight example, and if you enjoyed this episode of Teach Me How, please consider subscribing to the channel and make sure to like the video. Doing that is the best way for you to tell me that you're enjoying the series, and it helps the channel out a ton. I'll be releasing new episodes every week, so don't forget to turn on notifications so you'll get to see them as soon as they're put out. If you have anything to share or any feedback for the series, please share them in the comment section below. And with that, as always, thank you for watching, and thanks for learning.
And Dathomir will be your grave. You will not beat me! Too slow. Strike me down! Only cowards run. Lucky hit! Thwarted my attack. You will not beat me.